All right, that's just some of what happened Saturday night outside Camden Yards. You saw the person in the wheelchair. Joining us now is Colin Flaherty, best-selling author of the books Don't Make the Black Kids Angry. That's his newest one. There it is on the screen. And his previous book, White Girl Bleed a Lot. Great to see you.
Happy to be here, Steve.
Appreciate you coming down. Let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing in Baltimore. And I want to run a tape that you posted on Twitter, which I retweeted and put on my Facebook page. Let's go to that first other cut, the standby cut, and you can look at the screen and talk about what we're seeing here. Do we have it? Okay. Well, it's coming. It's specifically at the riots in Baltimore. There it is.
Photographer! He's a photographer!
They're beating the crap out of a photographer. And then you see here, you'll see, let's roll the next one. You'll see a white person standing outside the CVS. There's the sign that you put in the video. Watch the white guy. And watch him get just leveled. Watch this. Boom! And here it is in slow motion. The only white person there, and you speculated it was a reporter of some kind.
Only because he was holding a reporter's
Yes,
notebook.
yes, and plus he seemed out of place there. And there it is again as we talk. What are we seeing here? We're seeing here, because you've documented mall invasions and riots and beatings all over the country by black teens and gangs, correct? Against whites and other blacks.
And so what we're seeing here is the latest example. It's not just about that one guy who died in police custody. What we're seeing here is the latest example of relentless white racism against
white racism?
Relentless white racism. This is what they say. This is relentless racism against black people. It happens all the time, everywhere, explains everything, especially why police pick on black people. That's the narrative. That's the latest example. And guess what? I wrote Don't Make the Black Kids Angry because that is the greatest lie of our generation. But that's a story we can read every day in every newspaper in the country.
Yeah, and in this case, of course, the police chief is black, the police force is black, the mayor is black, the city is a majority black. That narrative doesn't hold up.
Baltimore is a chocolate city. Baltimore is a very dangerous city. Just a couple days ago, before all this kerfuffle started in Baltimore, just like Friday night, 20 black people attacked an old white dude. He's in critical condition now. This is on video. But this happens a lot in Baltimore. But like every other city, lots of other cities, the newspaper and the mayor, they ignore, deny, condone, minimize, encourage, and even sometimes lie about it. So that's why I wrote these books.
Are you surprised that the mayor, I mean, she said the most incredible thing I've ever heard, that, it's a fine line. You have to allow the people, keep the people safe, but also allow those who want to destroy, give them the room to destroy. I'm paraphrasing. She since said, I didn't say that, but it's on tape. We played it on this show today 3 times already. Is that par for the course, the way the protesters, quote unquote, are treated?
Yeah, this mayor, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, she's part of the crowd who believes that if you're out in the street rioting, you are a victim of white racism. Everything is seen through the lens of race. So when she took office, the first thing she did was tell Mayor O'Malley, we're not going to arrest our way out of this mess a couple years ago. And she cut the arrest from 100,000 down to 50,000. Was that
Governor O'Malley?
Governor O'Malley, yes, the former mayor. So she and O'Malley went like this on it. So she's all about racism, all about black people. The criminals are victims, not criminals. And if you look at it through that perspective, then everything else you see happening in Baltimore makes a lot more sense.
All right, now in New York, tomorrow they're planning, I've heard that they're going to protest, and they're planning to close, the protesters want to close the bridges and tunnels, which they've done in the past, because the mayor of this city, like the mayor of other cities, lets the protesters roam wherever the heck they want instead of putting them in certain protest areas. We also have a situation where in New York City, the city council is ready to pass, whether the mayor will go along or not, decriminalizing things like public urination, decriminalizing turnstile jumping in the subway, decriminalizing walking around with an open can or bottle of liquor or beer. That all feeds into this culture, doesn't it?
I wasn't aware David Dinkins had been reelected mayor of New York.
Or Baltimore. It was let them vent all over again.
Here's the thing, though. Most of the black mob violence that I document, it's not the political kind,
Right.
Even quasi-political. It's more of the criminal kind. Okay, here's
Well, they go into malls and businesses.
go into mall. Okay, over the weekend, just a couple days ago, Colorado Springs, 200 black people surrounded 20 cops at a county fair, throwing stuff at them, tilting over ticket booths.
Well, why don't we hear about this?
I wrote it and blogged about it. That's the point. Nobody's connecting the dots. In South Carolina, 20 black people rampaged through downtown Charleston, beat up a bunch of people. And a lot of this, and this is on both
And how
episodes.
recent was that?
That was both over the weekend.
And okay, but so it's not nobody's connecting the dots. No one's looking at the dots. No one wants to put the dots on because these stories go, as you've talked about, totally unreported except for you.
And here's the point.
Am I right?
Oh, you're right. And every story by itself is insignificant. But once you start looking at them all together and see how wildly out of proportion, that's when you and I have to look at it and go, there's something really strange going on here.
Yes, very true. And not to diminish what you just said, but it's not insignificant because if it was 200 white people surrounding cops or surrounding black people, or then that would be a huge story.
And this is Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been there. This is not a place where police gear up at the county fair.
Right. So what's the solution? We have very little time here.
Well, you know what? I don't do. All I do is speak the truth.
Right.
That's the solution.
You're not a psychologist. All right. How do people the book and you got your website?
Yeah. I'm easy to find the book. I tell you, if people want to find some cool stuff, go to my YouTube channel. There's all sorts of good stuff there.
Colin Flaherty, ladies and gentlemen, Flaherty, like it says under his name on the screen. And of course, the book is the latest one. Don't Make the Black Kids Angry, and the first book, White Girl Bleed a Lot. Colin, great. Thanks for coming up. Appreciate it. All right, folks, we're coming back. Congressman Steve King will be here. Talk a little Baltimore with him, too. Don't go away.